I did 2 million in sales my first year. We went over 3 million this year. What I kept hearing at the conference was branding and content. And so I wasn't really doing any content up until that first 9 months, but every 100 to $500 million roofing company kept saying content. So I just went super hard in 2024. As long as you're showing a good brand, a good culture, and you just make posts out there about recruiting, like people want to come be a part of it. Like I have all kinds of people from my church that are working like in careers that just say, hey, I want to come work with you.
Welcome back to another episode of Construction Tech Talk, where we blend the traditions of the trades with the innovations of the futures. Today, we got my buddy Cole Haynes out at Escalade Roofing, baby.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, I was reading up on you, brother. You're involved in the church, involved in the community, right? You like to vacation. You got 4 kids and a wife, play golf, long distance runner. What advice do you have for contractors out there, business owners, of how to juggle all of that or balance it in some kind of harmony?
Yeah, dude, that's a good question. So I went through the Rise Up Kings program. It's super insane, actually. You're trained by like the highest level Green Beret in the world. And so he went through Rise Up Kings and he like loved it so much that he became like the head coach of the whole program. And so Skylar Lewis, he's the owner of Rise Up Kings. He's doing huge things for the kingdom, dude, like just raising up like all these Christian business owners and like salespeople. He's got like this huge mastermind where it's a Christian based thing. So you've got all the big dogs out there doing masterminds, but he's got like the one missing piece that everybody doesn't put in there, which is God. And so his thing is just like booming, dude. Like he's changing lives left and right. And his 4 pillars are faith, family, fitness, and finance. And so that's what he teaches you how to do as you work in those 4 pillars in your life, but you all equally. And so he teaches you how to excel at the highest level in your faith while also in your family and your fitness and then your finance. And so your finances, of course, your business. And so that program was a big part of it, which I brought that into Escalade Roofing as well. So we center our company on those 4 pillars too, which is faith, family, fitness, and finance. And I'm always trying to drive that into the team, how important those 4 pillars are. Dude, I got so many stories like of that thing. Like I paid $5,500 to go through this 3-day experience. And dude, it's wild, bro. Like the Green Berets, and then you've got this other like drill sergeant, and they just like they're killing you the whole time, physically, spiritually, like every aspect. They're just like trying to search inside of you and find like what that thing is that is holding you back, and then they pull it out, and you're just constantly like dying to yourself, like dying it, like killing that old man, and then you're coming up a new man. But yeah, it's a super, super cool program. If you want to look at Rise Up Kings, it's a good stuff.
You mentioned they look at what's holding you back. And I think that's a problem that business owners, especially in the contracting world, run into a lot, where they're actually holding themselves back, right? And so if there's a contractor out there who might be getting in their own way, right, and they really don't know how to solve the issue, how does a business owner, a leader handle that to get out of their own way so that the business can thrive?
Yeah, so I just keep hearing the word mindset, right? From a Bible perspective, Ephesians 3:20 says that to him who is able to do exceeding and abundantly above all that you ask or think according to the power that works in you. So your mindset is so important with how you do in your life, right? If you're a negative person and you're saying like, I'm never going to do this, like you're not going to do it. But like when you open up your mindset to have these huge dreams, visions, and goals, and you set that bar super high, then of course your potential to reach that is much higher. So for me, my number in my head for Escalade Roofing is like $1 billion annually. And so it's like a ridiculously, stupidly high number, like unattainable even probably, but that's my number, so that I know that if I hit 500 million, like that'll be cool. But like just having an unbelievably high, unattainable goal and then working it, reverse engineering it backwards and seeing what does it take to get there, and then just working towards that. I think that A lot of business owners might have low goals, or they might say, oh, I want to hit a million. I want to hit a million this year, or I'm going to hit like 10 million this year. But if that's the bar that you set, you're never going to go over the bar. There's something called the lid theory. So like the lid theory is, it's like a principle. If you set a lid, like you'll never exceed the lid. You're either going to come up short of the lid, or you're going to hit your lid. But typically, if you set like I want to sell $1 million in roofs this year. Like I had my top salesman last year. He started like 6 months ago. He did 27 roofs in 6 months, but he set a goal for 20, I think it was 25 roofs, and he sold like 27. And whatever goal you set, that's typically where you end up.
I'm all about it, dude. I would say I probably don't hit 95% of my goals.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'm very goal oriented. But I always get where I want to at the end of the day.
Right.
Because like I'm doing what you're doing. Right? I'm setting goals so big that it's almost unattainable. Right? It's like if I say I'm going to the gym 7 days a week, hey, maybe I only go 5 or 6, but I'm cool with that because I set my goal so high. If I don't hit it, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
So you got to shoot big. You got to take your shot 100%. Now, as a business owner, like what's like your strength or your skill set? Like I noticed you guys got like your company culture seems great. It seems like you guys are very modern, innovative with tech. I love your guys' branding with the mascot and stuff like that. But what's your kind of skill set and where's your specialty in the business?
So I'm like the visionary. I just have like I took a personality test, and I'm just like off the charts optimistic, like extrovert, like everything that I see is like impossible. And usually those are the best types of leaders because they just see like the impossible as possible. And so that's kind of me. Is I just have these huge visions and dreams and goals, and I just have that really competitive nature because I grew up an athlete, so I can't lose. I won't lose. We really bring in a lot of competitions to the sales team and make it fun. Like our core values are like competitive, like competition, collaborative, and fun. And so let's all compete and just make brackets and outsell each other and win prizes for the winners and those kinds of things, just to make it fun for everybody, where everybody's making a lot of money, everybody's winning, and everybody's just excited all the time. So that's me, is just making it fun, just having those big goals.
Now, I wanted to talk about, can you tell us a little bit about your vice president?
Yeah, so my wife's the vice president, right? So she's a mastermind, dude. She's the artistic one. You see all the colors, the branding, the mascot, the lion, all those like designs. That's all her in the background, just working her magic. She's an artist. She can draw life paintings, like real life paintings. She's super gifted, super smart. She speaks Swedish, Spanish, and English. She went to her first husband she married. He lived in Sweden. She didn't know the language. She went to Sweden, learned the language, and ended up graduating at the top of her class, like in one of the most prestigious universities in the world, where they have Nobel Prize winners that go there. I can't think of the name of the university, but it's like a really well-known global university, like where all the like brilliant minds go in Sweden. And she went there, like nobody could believe she got accepted in there, not knowing the language, learned the language, and then excelled in her class and got her master's there in business. And she's ridiculous smart. Like, I don't even know how I deserve her or got her, but yeah, God is good.
What advice do you have for spouses who are working together? You know, how to make it really work, how to separate work life and business life, and just to really make sure that you guys are both succeeding at work and at home.
Yeah, so work-life balance is super important. You always hear like Dan Walrack at the roof conferences, him and his wife speak about like work-life balance and stuff. I think the Rise Up Kings program really taught me a lot, because in the program you have this app, and every day it's like a tracker where you can check the boxes like, did I do my devotional? Did I pray? Did I spend time with my wife? Did I spend time with my family? And so as you go through the day, every day you're in the app and you just check those off. Okay, I hit those. So instead of coming home like after a long day, super stressed out at work, instead of going home and just like sinking into the couch and watching Netflix, I didn't check my box for my wife today. And so let me bring her some flowers today. Let me handwrite her a letter and stick it on the mirror. Let me sit down for 20 minutes and just put my phone away and just talk to her and connect to her. And so that's what it is, separating those pillars, right? Your faith, your family, your fitness, and your finance. And you're making sure that each one of those gets touched equally throughout the day. And that's how you balance it out. Just making sure you're really spending that time. Or when you come home and you, instead of watching a movie and your son asks, Daddy, you want to play Legos? Yes. Do you want to go jump on the trampoline? Yes. And so the thing that we say is there's always something left in the tank, because you got to say that in your mind. Like, there's always something left in the tank, because there's a lot of times you speak things into your mind where it's, I come home and I'm just done, dude. I've done it all. Like, I'm so tired. Don't talk to me. Like, my mind's gone. But if you tell yourself, like, the mind is so super powerful. Like, say I always have something left in the tank to play Legos or to jump on the trampoline. Those kinds of things is a game changer.
I love that, man. I remember Kobe Bryant talking about that when he got home from playing a road trip and playing back-to-back games and getting home and the kids wanted to play.
Yeah.
And he always made sure that he had something left in the tank.
Right.
So I love that, man. What I liked about you guys, because we've been friends on Facebook for a while now, and I just liked watching your story so far, watching your team. You guys build a lot of content that kind of shows your company character, your values, the community involvement. You guys are, I like it because you guys are taking a very modern approach in the contracting world. I feel like using a lot of innovative tools and strategies and stuff like that. You guys are in directory, right? You guys are a super service award winner. You guys have the instant roof quote tool on here, right? You guys have over 100 Google reviews, I think, or something like that, right? It's something ridiculous. It's a lot. And so I see all this. And tell me your mindset with that, right? Where you're looking at the traditional contractor versus you guys, and maybe share some things that have really been beneficial for you guys and your growth.
Yeah, so I started March 2023, Escalade Roofing, and starting out, I was just like, no clue how to start a business, no clue how to run a business. Luckily, my wife had a business background. I started selling roofs in 2022. I sold like 100 roofs for another subcontracting company and did really well with him, just selling, and then did the same thing when I started Escalade Roofing. I had an IT background, so I worked at John Deere and Blue Cross as a sysadmin. So I have that IT experience. So that really helped with just running all the technology and learning the systems and things like that. So that was crucial, because you think about roofing business owners, sometimes they don't know anything about technology. So that's what I had an advantage in, probably. And then so I went to the Roofing Process Conference, Dmitry Lipinski's, in December. So I was a business owner for about 9 months then. I'd probably reached like 500,000 in sales. I did 2 million in sales. It was probably like a million by then, but yeah, I did 2 million in sales my first year. We went over 3 million this year. So we came out of the gate hot. Yeah. And we haven't even had a storm this year, which is the crazy thing. Like, we could have done well beyond that. But so what I kept hearing at the conference was branding and content. And so I wasn't really doing any content up until that first 9 months, but every 100 to $500 million roofing company kept saying content. And I was like, that's great. What do you mean? It didn't make sense. Like, content, like, who cares? But that's how they were doing it. Like, they were all saying it. So I just went super hard in 2024. I just started living my life on camera, like recording videos, like organically growing the business by my personal page and Facebook groups, just on every channel, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, everywhere, LinkedIn, like everywhere I could get in, Google. I was just blowing it up, like videos everywhere. And I heard Gary Vee say, like, post 13 videos a day. And if you posted 13 videos a day, it's not enough, post more. And so I'm like, dude, like, all right. And that's a tall order on 4 different channels on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even do much with YouTube. I know that's like the main one, but it's so time consuming.
It's a lot, dude.
YouTube's tough. So I just stick to Instagram and Facebook, making stories, and I could do a lot more probably with it. But yeah, that's been really good. Just everybody knows Cole's the Roofer. When they see you,
so content.
And so
content.
It blew us up.
And so are you focusing on Reels basically for the most part, it seems like?
Reels and stories. Yep. Instagram's really good too for recruiting. If you want to, I'm trying to get better at my Instagram channel, do more stuff like this, like me and you talking,
Yeah.
short little reels. I've been really good on Facebook, but I need to get better at Instagram. But you can do really good at recruiting on Instagram, finding
Mm-hmm.
good talent, as long as you're like you're showing like a good brand, a good culture, and you just make posts out there about recruiting. Like people want to come be a part of it. Like I have all kinds of people from my church that are working like in careers that just say, "Hey, I want to come work with you. I want to come work for you."
Yeah.
Just because you're building something great that people want to be a part of.
And then how are you using? Are you using your personal and the business? Or are you using just the
Yeah, they
business? How do you
share to
do
each
that?
other. Yeah, so like I have a link through
Mm-hmm.
Meta, but yeah, so when I share on my personal, it goes. I'll just tag the business, or I'll do both sides though. Then I'll share on the business, and then I'll copy my personal, and so that way they're constantly hitting each other.
And why did you decide to make a personal brand?
So I just have my personal page, but I did
Mm-hmm.
make Roof Pro Cole. So Roof Pro Cole.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
saw.
that's on
Yeah.
Instagram, but Facebook is just Cole. That's just me, but that's where
Mm-hmm.
I've got like 3,000 followers almost on Facebook.
Nice.
Instagram, I'm not sure what all that's at. It's not where it should be, but I don't do as much.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, I don't do.
It's all good, baby.
Yeah, yeah, I don't.
It's all good. So let's go to this then. Let's say we had a contractor who's just getting going. They would go from 0 to 3 million. Give me like three top tips that you would say are essential to helping them get there.
So the key to growing your business is sales. Doors till your fingers bleed for the first year. Like every single
Yep.
door, you've got to have a contract. So you've got to have
Into that.
something that people can sign that shows that you're a professional business. You've got to have your insurance, like whatever your state has. Your state requires general liability, your state requires workers' comp, or they require both. Do they require a GC license? North Carolina doesn't under 40,000. And so figure out what you need legally to run as a company, and then create a
Mm-hmm.
contract, get a contract from somewhere, just professional lawyer written. A lot of people out there just take their other roofing company contract and then have somebody just go put their name in place of it, right? And then it's okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you have your contract, and then just go knock doors until you freaking pass out every day. So set a goal every day, where like mine was like I'm not gonna stop knocking until I sign at least one contract a day. And so that was mine, and I would get 4 or 5 in a day sometimes, but I would not stop until I got one, because I knew if I sold one,
Hell
then
yeah.
I was making at least 1,000 a day as a sales guy. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
making
Hustle
yeah,
hard.
I'm making 20,000 a week or a month right there. 20,000 a month as that. But as a business owner, it's a little bit higher. But so that's what you got to do. And as a business owner, if you're starting a business and you're doing it that way, you're gonna do very well starting out. So I've grown really quickly, and I always heard people say don't grow it too big too fast. And now I'm seeing why, because your overhead gets high.
Yep.
Your overhead gets high, and
It's a different ball
you're
game.
dependent on selling jobs to stay alive. So yeah, it is hard to keep the business afloat, but you just got to get out there and sell. So that would be
You gotta sell.
there's so much.
Sales solves everything.
Yeah, if you're not selling, you're dying. Yeah, there's so much to
Mm-hmm.
say about that though. There's so much to say about that topic getting going.
Roofers, stop wasting time and money. Our free guide, 10 must have roofing tools for 2025, will save you 52 days a year, boost your close rates by 23%, and supercharge your profits. These tools are transforming the industry. Don't get left behind. Click the link in the show notes to download it now and dominate 2025.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is just dialing in a sales process, right? If you can dial in a sales process, it's rinse, repeat, have trainable SOPs, set people up for success, good CRMs, good sales tools, everything like that. That's going to be a great foundation to be able to build off of, right? Because everything starts from there. Cash is oxygen. So if you're able to get sales at a predictable rate, right, at a scalable rate, all the other things that you might not have dialed in perfectly can be solved, or at least have a band-aid put on with cash flow from sales.
Starting out,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't even need a CRM. Starting out, you would just need to sign contracts and have a really good crew. It was crazy because I used to sell roofs for the other guy, and I was making $1,000, and he's like, "There's no way you can make more than $1,000 on a roof, Cole. That's crazy. You can't make more than 2 grand." And then I sold my first roof, and I made like 5 grand, and I was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
what do you mean?" So then I just did it 100 more times, like by
I love
myself.
it,
Yeah,
dude.
and then
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you start bringing other people in that are killing it too. It's good.
Yeah. So what about, so you guys use RoofLink, right? Because I think we talked about it a real little bit.
Yeah, RoofLink has been really good. Yeah, we like it a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you like about it? What tips you have for contractors thinking about using it?
So the roof link's really good because you get to measure the roofs like inside the CRM. So you don't have to pay
Mm-hmm.
for any additional roof reports. And it's pretty accurate
That's
too.
nice.
You can know exactly what you need when you order it. And then once you measure the roof, actually, as soon as you click measure the roof, you can click create estimate and it orders the materials, it schedules the crew, and it pops out how much your profit is. Like it's built by roofers. So RoofLink knew
Mm-hmm.
exactly how to build a CRM. It's getting better and better too. So they just got bought out by Sales Rabbit. And Sales Rabbit,
Oh
like
wow.
Sales Rabbit is a huge company that focuses on the door-to-door space. And so they are
Mm-hmm.
like one of the top at like giving customer information. So like when we go to, so now we have Sales Rabbit at a really good price because we were already with RoofLink when they bought them out. And so now we've got RoofLink and
Nice.
Sales Rabbit, and we're just, it's such a good combo. Sales Rabbit will tell you all the customer data. It'll tell you exactly when the hailstorm or windstorm hit in the last 5 years at that house. You can have competitions with your sales guys, trade coins and win prizes. Dude, it's sick. Sales Rabbit is such,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you guys are looking for a CRM, it might be one to check out, right? Especially being purchased by a company like Sales Rabbit, who focused on the sales, the door knocking, everything like that. And they're able to put that in with all the tools that RoofLink already built out. Sounds like a winning formula,
It links to
right? So
links directly to your QuickBooks. It's seamless once you get it set up, and the support's amazing too. They're always like available, anything you need, customizations, tracking KPIs. You can like reporting, anything you want to do with it, you can do it, and it's going to keep getting better now that they partner with Sales Rabbit. So yeah, RoofLink, it's been phenomenal. I wouldn't steer anybody away from RoofLink.
whenever I'm looking at what software to utilize in the companies that I work with, I'm looking at companies that are getting acquired, companies who are getting funding, companies who have a good product roadmap. Because ideally, you want to be setting up for the future, right? So it's maybe this system we're building out, these processes, right? They're working out as we scale. What systems can handle the scale, and that you believe in the leadership, the features, and just the features of the softwares they're utilizing, right? And that's the kind of stuff you want to be looking into. Now, as we start slowly bringing it to a close here, man, I really appreciate you jumping on a busy day. Our boy just closed a big deal out there too, so congrats on
Let's
that.
go. 700,
Let's go, baby.
$700,000 job we just
700,
yeah.
baby. Tell us a little bit about that, dude, and then we'll talk about the mascot to close it out.
Yeah, for sure. We just partnered up with a company and they're in private equity and they're buying these huge properties. So what they're doing is they're purchasing apartment complexes and Section 8 homes, just big complexes and things like that. And what they're doing is they're buying them, getting funding for it, and then they're renovating them and then flipping them and selling them. And so they need us to come in and just basically just fix up the roof, install new gutter systems, fix the fascia, fix the soffits, and then maybe do some metal overhangs, maybe some metal installation on the porches. And so we're just pumping them out. Dude, it's crazy. They got like huge, massive complexes for once a month. Like they're buying one or two, need work done once a month. So if you think about that, a $700,000 project, a sales guy gets 15% of that. He's making,
It's pretty
yeah,
good.
he's making 100 grand on that one, 700K.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
so he made 105,000 on that one in a week.
Dang,
So you
dude.
think about if he locks that deal in and he gets one every month. So let's do that times 12. So he made 1.26 million in his payout for that alone, just for the projects, like for that.
That's
And then what if
nice.
he mixes in a bunch of roofs in there? This sales guy is looking at maybe making 4 million this year, which would be insane.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been in tech, dude. It's funny, it'd be for like the last decade, tech side of things for contractors. And my buddies that were selling tech, I'm like, man, dude, you'd make way more money just selling roofs, bro. Like the really good ones. I'm like, dude, they're making great money, but I'm like, Dude, you guys should just get away from the computer and just start selling roofs, knock some doors, dude. You'd be making dough.
Yeah,
It's a great space to be in.
for sure. I'd say number
Um,
one space in the world to be in. I wouldn't.
it's great. It's
Brain
great,
surgeons
dude.
aren't making
It's
brain
great.
surgeons aren't making that money.
No,
So
dude. Sales is where it's at, bro. You know what I mean? And
unlimited.
then when you're looking at roofing,
No
it's
cap.
just
There's
certain,
no cap.
yeah.
What do you want to get? You get whatever you want out of it.
Yeah, dude. But that's an amazing story, man. Those are the wins we're talking about, dude. And love to hear. Now let's go to the mascot. So, because I've always thought if I had a roofing company, I would have a
Yeah.
mascot,
Tell me
right?
about that. Why
Would.
would you say?
I,
Why did you think of that?
It's funny. So when I first got in the game, so I've been roofing for 8 or 9 years, and so we did commercial roofing leads, like basically automating the business development side on that side, and then I helped my buddy Randy Brothers start the roofing academy. Companies all sizes start building and grow their roofing companies, and one of my clients, first clients, was a guy out in Michigan, Goods Roofing, and they had this dog mascot, dude, and they bring him into the parades. They'd give little kids toys of the mascot, and I loved it.
So
I felt like it created a lot of personality, and I think some brands in the roofing space, especially in like Storm and stuff like that, they make it too
mhm.
intimidating rather than basically saying you're going to comfort them
Yeah.
and making the children of the home feel excited that you're there. And so I love
Did you
it.
see my
So
video of the High Point Parade? Did you see me?
I
You saw
did.
that one?
I sure did,
Lion?
man.
Dude, I almost passed out. I was out there for 3 hours in that suit, sweating, but I hugged every kid out there, dude. Like every single kid in the
Dude.
parade hugged that lion. So that's what my wife, dude. She's the master, dude. Like she has us working on a commercial right now where we're gonna introduce the lion to the world and make a commercial where I'm on a 3D screen and I'm just like, hey, this is like on Geico, right? So we found the
Yep.
people to make the commercial where I'm communicating with the lion. That's going to be dope. But
I love
she's
that.
always thinking of stuff like this. And so she went out and reached out to Disney and she got the Disney artist to draw the lion. And she told them
Wow.
exactly what she wanted. So I was like, should we have a dog? And she's like, what are you, crazy? Dog? Who cares about a dog? I want a lion, like a powerful lion. You are the lion of the tribe of Judah, she said. Like, you, you're the king of the jungle. You're not a dog, you're a lion. I'm like, dang, you're right. That's true. Lion is more.
I
But
love
then
it.
she said, but the lion is the king of the jungle, but we're going to also make him sweet too and kind. So,
Yeah.
so if you look at his face, dude, he's just sweet, dude. He's a nice little lion. He ain't
You got this smile.
dude. And that, so then she had the Disney artist create him on paper. And then we found somebody in China that actually created the mascot. So some people don't know how to make
Wow.
mascots, but she does like deep research and she knows where to find them, bro. Like she's digging through Instagram, like finding the best because she has the artistic mind. So
Mhm.
not everybody has an artistic mind. If I picked a mascot, it looks stupid. She's
Yeah,
got the
dude.
mind.
Dream team,
Yeah,
baby.
she's got the mind.
Dream team,
Yeah,
baby.
she's the master in business and also the very artistic type. And I'm just the one that just pounds the pavement and just inspires, lights fires in people, makes people believe in the impossible. And it's a good combo.
Yeah, dude. Sounds like visionary and integrator, baby.
Yep. And then I
Love it,
got my
dude.
COO, Adam. I always say he's a black version of me. I don't know if you've seen Adam the Roof. Adam
Yeah,
the
I've seen
Roofer
it
out
for
there, but
sure.
that's
Yeah.
my dog. And yeah, I've replicated myself in him. So now he's got like his own little roofing company inside of Escalade. So now it's just me and
I love
Adam.
it.
Adam's just running his stuff over here. He's getting big into commercial and he's talking about building houses, building complexes, and he's got this huge goals. But he's the integrator though. He's the numbers guy.
All right.
Just a lot of good stuff happening. Just getting started.
I love it, dude. Hey, I'm so happy for you guys. I've been following along from social media, dude. Super proud of what you guys got going on. Keep killing it. Love the culture. Love the energy, the positive vibes, dude. The branding, everything, dude. As we close it out, man, I leave the floor for you, right? So this is the words of wisdom. It could be a quote. It could be a book. It could be a life lesson. Things you're working on. I could care less, man. But you can leave us with whatever you wish.
Yeah, so I would just say reach for the stars and you'll catch the moon. Reach for the highest, most unattainable goal that you could ever imagine possible, and you're going to get there. You're going to get close.
Let's do it. Why not, baby?
Yep. Big goals.
Why not, baby?
That's it.
Why not, man? Hey guys, make sure you're checking him out. Follow along at Escalade Roofing on all the social media profiles, especially Facebook, Instagram. You got to check out what he's got going on. He's killing it out there. Super pumped about it. Make sure you hit the like button, share it out, subscribe. Remember, Better Boss, you guys are built to be better. So go get it and tune in. We'll see you next time.